Thank you. So when I'm going to talk about technology, I'll be talking based on if you want to use technology, as in every discipline now needs technology, even agriculture. I will be talking on it based on when you want to choose the field where you want to go, maybe agriculture, maybe engineering, maybe sciences, social sciences, and stuff like that. I'll be talking based on that. You see, in this 20th century that we are now, if you are without technology, there's no way you're going to move forward. Recently, I traveled somewhere and I realized that what we are doing back here in Nigeria, in Africa, is not what they are doing over there due to technology. They have a kind of equipment that can cultivate 300 hectares of land in a day. You understand me? They even have tractors that can drive itself. But in Nigeria, we still practice agriculture using cutlasses and hoes. So that makes agriculture not to be attractive to youth and young people around the world. So I'll be talking to you based on, okay, if you want to choose your field, if you're studying medicine, if you're studying anything, you realize that if you're not following the trend of technology, in no time you'll be outdated. In no time you will be nowhere to be found. So whatever you want to do, beyond using your smartphone, even if you want to do business, you need to go online, see the trend of the business. See those people who have been doing the business in the past. What has their past experiences been? So that is what you are going to use to compare the two together. So you need technology. When we are talking about technology, we are talking about internet. We are talking about mechanization in anything you do. So technology is very essential if you want to move forward and if you want to compete with other youths around the world. Because if you are not doing with technology, people in other countries, they are doing with technology. So when the time comes, you need to compete with them, and you cannot cope with that technology. You will be far behind, irrespective of your position while you are in Nigeria. Thank you.
Even think like an entrepreneur, even if you are not going to be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to start from the last person who spoke to us on technology, and then we'll go back that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is an entrepreneur? Let me use myself as an example. When I was in, I did PD, I wanted to study computer science and engineering, and at the end of the day, the thing ended up in agri, not because my score was not up to what should put me in computer, and when I got to 200 level, there was another mix-up, which I finally settled for agricultural economics and extension. I'm proud to be an agriculturalist today, and I think I've done some things with agriculture. I can boldly tell you that. If people are saying that, if you are studying agriculture, you are this, you are that, tell them to talk to me. Do you understand me now? Now, like what we are saying, who is an entrepreneur? I started with 83 chicken as a poultry farm. So when I started with 83 chicken to start a poultry farm, okay, I want to do this. I will quickly tell you, I don't know if I'm permitted to quickly run my story a bit. I think when I tell them my experience, I think they will be able to learn from my experience and they can think straight about it. They won't forget that story. So when I got home, I told my mom, in fact, I went to Lagos then, so she was in Lagos. I told her, they gave me agronomy then before I changed to, she asked me that, what do you want to use agronomy for? So it was a slap on my face, and my immediate sister then was studying medicine and surgery. In any environment, when you put a medicine and surgery student and a Greek student beside, you know that this one is not serious, but this one is serious. So that was my condition. Even when they were giving us money at home to spend in school, I spent the remnant of what she spent. So they didn't even bother to concentrate much on me because they believed that agriculture will never be useful to anybody. And in fact, they were thinking that, okay, when you finish agriculture, we have to go and start teaching in one school or the other. So I think that was their plan. Even when I finished, they were looking for a school for me to teach. So for you to know how pathetic the situation was at that time. But when I was in 400 level, I think my story started changing. I think 300 level second semester, we go for internship at part 4. Hello? So I think we go for internship at part 4. So when I started with 83 chicken, you know what 83 chicken, in fact, at that point I was duped. Some people collected money from me, they didn't give me enough chicken, I just managed the 83. The money I was supposed to be using for feeding myself, I was using it for the chicken. and I was feeding on gari throughout. So even when I go to the toilet to defecate, I see gari inside, for you to know that situation. Now, at part 4, I was opportune to have my height with Intercontinental Bank of Bumasho then. And you know, as at then, in 2009, if you're a student, as an IT student, and they're paying you close to 40,000 naira. And then my chicken had grown to like 600 in Ondaji over there. So I had like 600 chicken as a student. When I was an IT student, I had IT student also. So I was an IT student in a bank, and I had IT students on my farm also. So it was an interesting story for me because I passed through some challenges then, and I was able to overcome the situation. So when I was leaving, I had a plan that, okay, I want to make 10 million naira before I leave Lautech. And I was not going to do Yahoo, I was not going to rob anybody, but great things start small. Irrespective of how big your dream is, you have to start from somewhere. Look at Jesus, God. When he created a man and a man, he wants the whole world to be filled with people. He wants everything to multiply. Why didn't he create 1 million men, 2 million women, marry 2? Rapid multiplication. So whatever you want to do, you need to start from the scratch and move up. Now, when I did that, I had more than enough. At part 4, I paid my tuition myself. I was able to afford a car then, at least you will know. People knew I didn't do Yahoo, and I afforded a Tokumbo car. You know, that was what goes on in Nigeria. So I was able, at then, I bought a car of 675,000 naira as a student when I was living in part 5. So after that, I planned to have 10 million naira, but that thing didn't work somehow. But the day I was leaving, I wrote a proposal to the federal government through a program called Youth with Innovation in Nigeria, and they gave me 10 million naira grants. You know the meaning of grants? Grants is something you don't pay back, and I want 10 million naira. Now, as an entrepreneur, you need something called innovation. Who is an entrepreneur? You are an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. And one thing about it is that people who are called entrepreneurs are people who can take care of their future themselves. Those people who are not willing to work to be an entrepreneur will go and work for someone. Sorry, where you work